Yo, what's up guys, Teacher Paul here and Felipe.
Hello there, everyone.
And today we are reacting to the Netherlands. More specifically, why didn't the Netherlands gain territory after World War II? We've reacted to a few short animated documentaries here on the channel, and including the Netherlands. So this is from a channel called History Matters. Let's take a look at it and learn a little bit more about the Netherlands during the World War II.
At the end of the Second World War, Axis borders were redrawn, often as compensation for occupation. Yugoslavia got this from Italy, Poland got this from Germany, and the USSR gained all of this. One nation which had also pushed to gain land from Germany was the Netherlands, which asked to be given all of these lands in 1949. As you'll guess, they got very little. They didn't get nothing, they were in fact given this tiny bit of land here, most of which they soon sold back to Germany in the 1960s. But given how badly damaged the Netherlands was by the Second World War, why weren't they given more land? So after Germany was defeated, many countries wanted compensation from their occupiers. The Netherlands was no different, and their demands were simple. Give us cash, lots of it. Unfortunately for them, the great powers had agreed at the Yalta Conference that there would be no financial reparations, mostly because of what had happened last time that Germany was forced to pay such reparations. And for the Dutch, this meant that the only way that they could get something out of Germany was by annexing land. The proposals were simple: take as much as we can and kick out all of the Germans who live there. Internally, the Dutch government had hoped to be given all of this, which included Cologne as well as important historical cities like Aachen and Münster. There were a few in the government that even pushed for the annexation of lands around Dortmund and Hamburg, but this was seen as unreasonable. So what happened when they put these ideas to the Allied powers? They were laughed out of the room by all except France. This was because France was also pushing for a somewhat dismembered Germany. As such, Plan B. The Dutch reduced their claims to this. The answer was also no, and they came back with the third offer of only taking this. It won't shock you to know that the Allies rejected this as well. And by Allies, I mean mostly the British. You see, these lands were in the British zone of occupation, and given that East Germany had been divided amongst the Eastern Bloc, it had many refugees. These refugees needed food and housing, which was difficult to build. The Dutch plan to annex these lands and kick out all of the Germans living there would have meant millions more refugees and less places to house them. Yet for the Dutch, the removal of the Germans from the Netherlands was seen as vital to national security, because it meant that Germany would have less grounds to retake these lands in the future. The Dutch were pretty angry about this, since it looked like they were going to get nothing, which would make the government look pretty weak. However, the Allies did opt to give some bits of land on the border here to the Dutch as a form of placation. It was occupied in mid-1949, and just short of a decade later the West German government came knocking. Many in the Dutch government wanted to keep the lands out of principle, but a good working relationship with the new democratic Germany was seen as valuable. And also, perhaps the Netherlands could use the land to trade for some of the cash that they had wanted previously. In the end, it was agreed that Germany would pay roughly $80 million for the return of the lands. Well, most of it. The Netherlands kept a tiny bit of land for itself, whilst the rest was transferred back to West Germany in 1963. Meaning, after World War II, the Dutch did get some territorial concessions from Germany, just not very much. I hope you enjoyed this episode, and a special thanks to my patrons: James Bissonette, Kelly Moneymaker, Sky Chappelle, Corsho Wolf, Jordan Longley, Adam Salter, Jerry Lambdin, Marcus.
That was a short video, but that's very interesting. I think the Netherlands they didn't get enough, or they weren't taken very seriously because they weren't threatening enough. The other countries that we saw that got territory, they were like scary countries.
Yeah.
But I think the Netherlands is more of a peaceful nation, I would suppose. They just wanted to do business, you know. And I think the other countries that were getting lots of territory, like Russia, Germany, they were a little bit more, you know, the big fish, the big dogs of the war. Exactly. You know?
And we see also here Great Britain, which they were like, you know, you can't have our part of our land, you know.
They want everything.
So, yeah.
The British wants everything, the whole world.
Yeah, exactly.
And there's another video that I reacted to that people were saying in the comments that when the Netherlands went to Indonesia, they didn't take their culture. They didn't teach Indonesia their language. Rather, they had them learn a more similar language, which was cheaper, the cheaper option. So the comments were saying, and let me know if this is true, the comments were saying that this was because of because they only wanted money. It was just business. They were just in it for the money. So I think the Netherlands is very business driven. You know, they didn't want anything as in power, but they just wanted to do some decent, like, or reasonable trades of the land.
Yeah, it makes sense.
Makes sense. A little bit more peaceful, I would say. But if they had pushed it in a violent manner, or if they were more, you know, like a menacing country, I think people would not take advantage. They would have
to their demands.
Yeah, which is a bad reality if you think about it. You know.
Yeah, the bigger ones have the bigger slices of the cake, you know.
and it teaches you that power and violence gets you more out of the deals. But that's why the war started in the first place. That's why we have war right now, because of territory, because of power. And it's always the same.
It's a sad reality, but it's human reality, you know.
Yeah.
Stuff that happens, and yeah, it's very hard to prevent those things to happen, because it's about human nature, you know.
Yeah.
And nature that wants, you know, that it's in a selfish nature. And even when we are talking about many people, like in this cases where we see that the Britain wanted more land, we'd see that the nation and the people as a nation were acting not well, maybe not the people, but the government. So they decided, well, we're going to do this, and you have to obey, you know.
Yeah.
And well, that's the truth. That's the reality.
Yeah, and our Dutch viewers were saying that the Netherlands didn't want to impose anything in Indonesia, and because of that mentality, that's why the Japanese tolerated the Dutch. And it's a very interesting history, you know, a very interesting idea. So they were just in it for economic growth, which every country needs, but they weren't in it for ego, you know, or power or anything like that. I'm losing my voice, guys, so I'm trying to keep it a low tone. But it was an interesting video. If you guys have anything to add, let us know in the comments. Don't forget to like, don't forget to subscribe. And if you want to request a video, link is in the description or the pinned comment. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye. Now you can get full access to exclusive content, special reactions to shows, series, anime, full movies, and even request a video of your choice. Just become a YouTube member or join Buy Me a Coffee today. Find out more, the link is in the description.
Never break, always fight, never quit, do it right.